Hey guys, Gaming Off the Grid here.
And you are watching Captain Algebra.
Hey everybody, Captain Algebra here. I'm here with my pickups for the month of July. It was another solid month, not as good as last month, but still got a lot of good things. So first, we're going to look at an eBay lot that I picked up of Game Boy games. Really only wanted one game in there, but it was worth the price just for that game alone. First, did get a copy of Tetris, which I already had. And then we've got NASCAR starring Bill Elliott. This is an interesting racing game. It's by Konami, so you'd think it'd be good, but I just think racing games, when they're first-person view, work very well. Then we've got Trick Border, which is a snowboarding game on the Game Boy Color. Really haven't figured too much about that, just because there's only two buttons on the Game Boy. So you jump, and that's about all I really know. I don't know how to do tricks, but it does say tricks on your score at the end, so I don't know. And we got Primal Rage. So I think that's the third console that I have Primal Rage for. I already have it on the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. Just, you know, it's your typical fighting game. It's not that good, especially on the Game Boy. Then the game I really wanted in that lot, WWF Betrayal. So this is a beat-em-up by Way Forward. So instead of a typical wrestling game, it's a beat-em-up. You can choose from Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, and The Undertaker. You go through, I think, about 6 missions. Basically, you get screwed over by Triple H and Stone... Well, I was The Undertaker. I got screwed over by Triple H and Stone Cold out of the WWF title. And so McMahon sent me after them because they took Stephanie. And you fight your way through normal enemies, and then the bosses are the other wrestlers that you didn't choose. It's a very fun game. Highly recommend it. It's nice to play something different other than just your typical wrestling game. Next, we got some N64 games. The first one was part of a GameStop deal. They did again, like games $19.99 and under, buy one get one free or something. I can't remember what the deal was. Maybe it was half off, something like that. So I decided to actually look at retro games, and of course every game I wanted was out of stock. But there was one that did look interesting, and that was Beetle Adventure Racing. I've always heard really good things about this game. Like, it was a really good racing game. I played it, I'm like, it's not that good. I feel like the cars just don't handle that well compared to other arcadey type racing games on the N64. Then the next two are from a guy that my brother knows. He trades toys with him. He's really big into collecting toys, and he lives in the same town as me, so I had to get something for my brother, and I just got to talking about video games, and he had some stuff, so I picked up a couple. First one's War Gods. You'd think, you know, it's by Midway, that it'd be pretty good, but no. It's a pretty bad fighter. Really not much to say about that one. And Megadan's gonna be happy about this one. WrestleMania 2000. This is my first WWF wrestling game on the N64, and I know people love the WWF games on the N64. Some say they're the best wrestling games of all time. I have like all the WCW ones, but this is my first WWF one. So I did play that with Gaming Off the Grid when they were here. They took on Megadan and I, and it's okay. I think I prefer the SmackDown games on PS2 more, but it's gonna be fun to get into that one. Then another eBay pickup, got something on the Genesis, game I've really wanted for a long time, Alicia Dragoon. So this is complete. It was a rental copy, and so I actually got this for probably about half of what a complete copy normally goes for. You know, sometimes you can find good deals on eBay. And it was brought down, like I said, it was a rental copy, so on the front there's a little bit of sticker, but you could barely tell. It actually looks like part of the lightning bolt that's coming out of her hand. And then on the back there's an X across the UPC. It's like, who cares? The manual is in great shape, the game's in great shape, so for getting that 50% off, basically, I was pretty happy. But you go around as Alicia Dragoon, battling hordes of barbarians and stuff, and different other types of enemies. But you also have a pet that comes with you, and you can switch out what it is. There's like different types of dragons, there's a raven, there's a lizard. It's pretty cool, but you have to be careful because if they run out of health, they die. You have to find a revive to bring them back. And I guess those are pretty hard to find in the game. So very cool. Really like this game. It's going to be fun to stream for Genesis A to Z. Then we actually got some NES games. It's been a while. And so first is just a lot I picked up on eBay. They all came with their manuals. And so the first one would be Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle. This is an okay game. I have it for the Game Boy. Problem with this game is there's way too many levels. There's like 60 or 90 levels, something like that, and it just gets really boring after a while. I mean, granted, there's password save, so you just play a little bit and come back to it, but still, it's not that exciting of a game. Next one we got Fox's Peter Pan and the Pirates. This is one that I saw Eugene Myers stream a while ago, and he beat it. So it looked okay. The weird thing is there's like no music in the game. I'm not sure why. So that was weird. But then the game I wanted out of the lot, The Rocketeer. Another game that Eugene was streaming lately, but I've actually wanted this for a while when I watched James and Mike play it on Cinemassacre, and I just kept forgetting to look it up. So finally I'm like, okay, this is a good lot. All these games come with their manuals. I'm going to pick this up. And this is a really fun game. I'm definitely going to have to get into that soon. Then it also came with a Dragon Spirit with its manual, which I already had both of those. I have a complete copy. And then it came with Captain Skyhawk in the manual and Little Nemo Dream Master in the manual. So I kept the manuals for those, and then I'll be getting rid of the loose carts. So that was pretty cool. Then another NES game I bought just because I've been wanting for a while, and again, a game that I learned about from Eugene, Pinball Quest. This also came with the manual, which is cool. But this is an RPG as a pinball game, which is really, really cool. Now you can play, I think there's like 3 regular pinball tables on here, but the main thing is the RPG aspect. And you just have to beat each board, just have to do certain objectives to get past it. It's pretty cool. I'm not great at pinball, so I'm really bad at the game, but it just seems like a lot of fun. Next one was a game I've been wanting again for a while. The Ferris West did a no-death run of it and a walkthrough of it, which was pretty cool, so finally picked it up. Silver Surfer. Fantastic shooter. I know people hate it because of AVGN, but honestly, it's actually a really good game. The music is fantastic. The worst part about it is the fact that there's no auto fire, right? So either play with a turbo controller, or you're gonna hurt your hand playing this game. Whereas, you know, a lot of games at that time already had auto fire for shooters, but it's a really cool game. Definitely looking to get into that one a little bit. The next one was actually another game from that guy that I met through my brother, and it's complete in box, Base Wars. Now, this is a really good baseball game. It's obviously you play as robots instead of people, and one of the cool things is if there's a like a play at the plate, you go into this 2D fighting game. It's funny, when I was playing this without recording footage, I did really well, but then on this footage, I just got wrecked. This dude just doing flips on me, and I just couldn't do anything, but it's a really cool game. Don't really hear much about it, so I'm glad to pick that up. And then, last one, also from that guy, was the gem, and that is Dusty Diamond's All-Star Softball. So, he said he had this game, it's in mint condition, and I've always heard good things, and it's a pretty fun baseball game. I actually kind of like Space Wars a little more. What's cool about this is there's a huge roster, and they all have their strengths and weaknesses. Some are more powerful but slow, some are really fast, some are really good pitchers, that kind of stuff. But you don't know about that unless you have the manual. You know, I just had the game, so I'm just randomly picking my team. And what's another cool thing is the fact that each stadium has different home rules, which is kind of cool. So that was just kind of cool to add to the collection. You know, it's a game you don't really see much. It's a little bit more expensive, so but I was glad to add it to the collection. All right, next we're gonna look at the GameCube games I picked up. First one's from a garage sale. I saw it right when I woke up in the morning, so I just went to see. I ended up buying every game that they had except for a loose copy of some like Call of Duty game that I didn't want. And every game here was $1 or $2, and there was one game that was $4. I think it was this game, and that's Rampage Total Destruction. It is complete. It's got the manual in really good shape. Solid Rampage game. I have it on the Wii, but I didn't really like it on that, so I'm hoping the GameCube one is a little bit better. Next was just from a guy on Facebook Marketplace selling a bunch of games. So these were the 3 that I wanted. Only one does not have the manual, the rest are complete. First one, Casper Spirit Dimensions. So this follows along the same characters as I think the second movie. I never watched that one. But basically, is it Kebab? It's not Kebab. Kabosh? I think that's the name of the evil ghost. And so, Little Red Riding Hood, I think it's Red Riding Hood, she looks like a Little Red Riding Hood, needs your help. So basically you go into each little area and there's something special you have to do, you have to collect or do to finish that stage. Controls are kind of different to get used to. I would think that, you know, maybe the one joystick moves you forward and stuff, and the other one can strafe, but it is a little bit different than that. But it's an okay game. Next one, Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex. So what I like about this one compared to like the PS2 games is this actually feels like a Crash Bandicoot game. The ones on the PS2 were a little bit weird. Now, what's funny is, I feel like, even though this is on the GameCube, so it's a more powerful console than the PlayStation, I feel like the game does not play as well as the original Crash Bandicoots on the PS1. But still, you know, it's a pretty fun game. Looking forward to getting into that. And then the main reason I wanted this lot was because of this game, and that's Bloody Roar Primal Fury. So I think for all three of those games, I paid $35, and Bloody Roar alone, at the moment of this recording, was going for more than that. So that made it worth it right there. It's a fighting game. I don't love fighting games, but this one's pretty cool. You can actually change into an animal or a beast, and that's kind of fun. So far, it's a pretty solid fighting game. Next, picked up one 3DS game, and that's because it was on sale at Walmart. That's Chibi Robo Ziplash. So it came with the amiibo, which is cool. And this is a side-scrolling game that you got to use your little plug to help you get through. So sometimes it's attacking enemies, sometimes it's latching on to walls to be able to climb. Pretty fun so far. I have not played a 3DS game yet, and you guys know that I'm trying to beat 100 games this year, plus one game on every console, so maybe that'll be the game I go for on the 3DS. Next, we got a bunch of Wii games. These all came from that garage sale, so they're all $1 or $2. First one is Samba de Amigo. So this is a rhythm game where you're like playing maracas. The Wiimote, the motion controls don't work great. Sometimes it seems like they're a little off, but I do like rhythm games. I was glad to pick that up. And we got the Simpsons game, which was crazy. I didn't know this game goes like $15-20 complete. I haven't really played much, but it seems like you just play as the Simpson characters, and it's just an action-adventure game. It's by EA, so, you know, who knows how good that is, but it seems like all the voices are right, so it seems like they got the voice actors to be in that. And we got Link's Crossbow Training. Now, this is not the original case, and that is printed artwork, but this looks much nicer on the shelf than the regular box for this game, the little cardboard sleeve. This game I've always wanted. You know, it works perfect with the Wiimote. I don't actually have the Wii Zapper that goes with it, but, you know, I could probably just use my Nyko Perfect Shot that I got from Gaming Off Grid, but it's a fun on-rail shooter game. And then the last Wii game that I got was off eBay. It's one I've been wanting for a while. Finally got it. It was brand new for a very good price. Calling. So this is a Japanese horror game. You follow 4 different characters throughout it, and what's really cool is your Wiimote acts like a speaker. So anytime your phone goes off and you answer it, they talk through the speaker on your Wiimote, which is really cool. So pretty creepy game. Excited to get into that. And then again, same garage sale. First, I had 2 games I already had, and that was Borderlands, but this was the Game of the Year edition, whereas I had the Platinum Hits. And then Red Dead Redemption. I already had the Game of the Year edition, but I think I'm going to keep this one too, because this has a poster that's a map, which I don't think the Game of the Year edition has. We got Left 4 Dead. Always heard great things about this. I played it once multiplayer back in college. Never really got into it. It's cool. You could be 4 different characters. So it'd be nice if I had some people to play it with. I know Retro Mikey plays with Retro Rape all the time, so maybe I can get my wife to play it. Probably not, but you never know. Yeah, Viva Pinata, Trouble in Paradise. This is a weird game. You have a garden, and you have to do certain things to attract pinatas to your garden. And then once they're residents, you fill them up with candy and you shoot them off to a party. Definitely a weird game. You know, it's made by Rare, but at this point, Rare was not making the greatest games. We got Sneak King, one of the Burger King games. Always wanted these. So this one, you have to sneak around delivering food to people, and if you get caught, you lose your streak, so you don't gain as many points. And also Big Bumpin'. So this is a bumper car game, and each level kind of has a different theme. Sometimes you're playing hockey or soccer. Other times you're just trying to bump into people and make them lose all their health. Then we got a couple first-person shooters. First we got Rainbow Six Vegas. So didn't really know much about this. I think, yep, it's a Tom Clancy game. Haven't really played many Tom Clancy games. So, be interested to see how that plays. And we got Battlefield 3. I've always heard really good things about the Battlefield series, but I never had one, so picked this up. And then finally, Brink. So Brink is better when you're playing with other people. It's first-person shooter. You've got different objectives that you have to complete, but it's really tough to do on your own. You know, when I was playing, capturing footage, you know, kept dying even though I was trying to get the objective done, which was to blow open a door to save the hostages, which I was able to do, but not a lot of time doing that because, you know, when you're playing with other people, you can tell them, oh, I need a medic, or hey, they're over in this area of the map. Whereas when you're playing on your own, you got to rely on the AI, which is not always good. Next thing I want to talk about are some dust covers that I actually got from printerboy.net. First heard about these from Metal Jesus. Kept forgetting to order them. Then I saw Do You Nerd talk about them. I'm like, okay, I'm finally going to order a couple. So I got two. I got the Sega Genesis and then the Star Wars Edition Xbox 360. And these are great. Very good quality. They look fantastic on the console. It's funny, sometimes I'm sitting here playing video games and I'll look at my console's down there and you can't even tell that it's a dust cover unless you really look. It's like, oh yeah, I got the dust cover on those, but those look fantastic. Glad to finally get those. We got one Switch game, and that's because I was just looking at Best Buy's website and they're having some deals. You never see Switch games on sale, so I had to pick this up. Fire Emblem Warriors. So I got in the Warriors series because of Hyrule Warriors, and I figured we'd try this one too. I feel like I've heard people say it's not the greatest, but I've had fun. I've never played any Fire Emblem games, so I don't know the characters other than, Marth and Ike from Super Smash Brothers. But I like it so far, the little I've played. So if all the Warriors games are like this, I'm gonna have to get more into all of them. And finally, what you guys all are waiting for, how many PS4 games did Captain pick up this month? So, not as much as last month, but still a decent stack. First one, the only VR game for this month, The Inpatient. This is part of the GameStop deal where I got Beetle Adventure Racing. So this one, you're in a sanatorium, but you don't remember who you are, and you keep having these flashbacks, and they're asking you questions, and you're really not sure what's going on. So you're trying to figure out who you are before it's too late. So I like what I've played so far. Next one came from Best Buy because it was $5. Only reason I bought it. All-Star Fruit Racing. So it's just your typical racing game, similar to Mario Kart or Diddy Kong Racing and stuff, where you can collect different things, and you can use them for defensive weapons or maybe offensive weapons or a speed boost, etc. So it's really not that good, but for $5 I wasn't going to pass it up. More from GameStop. We got Brothers. So this one's interesting because L2 and the left stick controls the bigger brother, and then R2 and the right stick controls the younger brother. And basically what happens is, it looks like your mom died, and then your father is now ailing, and you have to go on this trip, on this adventure to find the Water of Life to bring it back to save him. And so you got to figure out puzzles. Obviously, the older brother is stronger, whereas the younger brother is lighter, so they can each do different things. Definitely like it so far. Abzu. So this one I picked up just because sometimes you just need to play a relaxing game. It's a little weird. I'm really not even sure what you do in this game yet. You're just going around, you're seeing different animals, and you're opening up like these temples, it seems like. So I'm really not sure exactly what the premise is, because there's no dialogue at all. It's just they throw you into the game. But like I said, it's a beautiful game. It's kind of relaxing. Next one, Song of the Deep. So this is the first time in all these times I've done these GameStop deals that I finally got screwed. And I think 3 out of the 8 games this time came in generic cases. One was The Inpatient, but I did find one on eBay for pretty cheap, just the case. So this is a game where you play as a girl who's got a submarine and her father goes missing. So she goes into the water to look for him. Seems like a Metroidvania, similar to the Adventure of the Last Human that I played earlier this year. Where in your submarine you get different upgrades and you fight different enemies as you're searching for your dad. We got Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. So another Wolfenstein game. Seems like I'm just trying to collect all the Wolfenstein games. They're fantastic first-person shooters, so had to check that out. And going along with that one, Wolfenstein: Youngblood. This one's a little bit different. You play as the daughters of Blazkowicz, and one thing I have a problem with this is the voice acting was really annoying in the beginning. They're just, some of the stuff they're saying is it just sounds stupid. They kill someone and they start throwing up. It's like, I know they're rookies and they haven't really killed anybody yet, but I mean, come on, they're Blazkowicz's kids. Like, they should be better than this. So, But it's kind of cool. You can play co-op. One person was one sister, the other person the other sister. So definitely fun so far. And we picked up Mirror's Edge Catalyst, just because, you know, I needed more games to buy to get the deal, and this looked kind of interesting. So I haven't really played it too much. And then the last three are part of that Best Buy deal where I got Fire Emblem Warriors, where it's just a bunch of games for clearance. So we got Borderlands 3. So I have Borderlands, and I have Borderlands the pre-sequel. I do not have 2. And I've always heard good things about this game, but I've always kind of shied away because of the RPG aspect of it. You know, if it was just a first-person shooter, I would dive right in. But I figure, you know, maybe it's time to finally try those games out. And we got Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I've only gotten into one Assassin's Creed game, and that was number 2. Played it this summer. I got my Xbox 360 and loved it. Tried to play the other ones, and I just couldn't get into it for whatever reason. But this is cool because this takes place, you know, over in ancient Greece and stuff, and you actually start the game playing as King Leonidas in the Battle of Thermopylae, so that's really, really cool. Unfortunately, it's a really long game. It's like 50 to 60 hours, so I'm like, oh man, I don't really want to jump into that right now. Plus, I'd probably want to play the other games first, but glad to pick that up. And then, final game, Shadow of War. So I have Shadow of Mordor, heard great things about it. I just haven't had a chance to play it, but I was like, I should probably get the sequel, just in case I really like Shadow of Mordor, I can jump into this. And it's really cool. You got to sneak around killing enemies, killing the orcs. I don't know how else it plays. Like in the first one, you're trying to kill all these generals of Sauron and stuff. So I'm not sure what the premise of this is, but it seems like a lot of the same gameplay mechanics are there from the first game. So there you go. That's what I picked up in the month of July. Another good month. Got a lot of good games. Glad to get some retro stuff. Hopefully I start to get more to stores now instead of just relying on eBay. Now I did get good deals on all these eBay on all these games, but you know, it's tough to find some good eBay deals sometimes. So thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, this is Captain Algebra signing off.